My name is Lee Kim. In life, we meet many people, and some are more inspirational than others, irregardless of age and anything else. Here I have with me Mrs. Chuah, who inspires me because despite turning 72 years old very soon, her life is dedicated to her children and her grandchildren, being a devoted mother and grandmother. Mrs. Chuah, please tell us a little bit about your spiritual journey so far.
My spiritual journey really began after meeting my dear Guru, Tsem Rinpoche. I met him in the year 1992. Since then, he had helped me tremendously in all my needs. I'm really grateful to him.
You have been practicing Dorje Shugden. May I know what are some of the amazing things you have witnessed because of your practice?
Dorje Shugden is a very great Dharma protector. He is indeed really powerful through my experience. I had many crucial incidents where I need help, and he really came in to help me. And I should actually be very, very grateful to my dear Guru for introducing to me this really great Dharma protector.
Can you share with us some of the amazing things that the Dharma protector has helped you?
One very unforgettable incident is when Dorje Shugden saved my grandson's life. You see, my grandson was born in the year 2011 in May. When he was born, his body turned blue. All the nurses in the hospital and the doctors had to resuscitate his life. Actually, my son, in great despair and fear, quickly rang up my daughter, Suming. Immediately, Suming contacted my Guru, and Guru, without delay, summoned Dorje Shugden's pujas to be done for my grandson. That was how Dorje Shugden and my Guru saved my grandson's life.
And that must have been a time that was very worrying for you. I'm sure your whole family was under a lot of distress. It must have been an amazing relief to know that your grandson was in the kind, protective hands of Dorje Shugden.
Yes, indeed. You see, can you imagine? When we saw him in the hospital, he had needles all over him. Now, he's a bouncing, active boy, and he's very talkative. I really thank Dorje Shugden and my dear Guru for saving my dear grandson's life.
Other than your grandson, how has Dorje Shugden been of help to you?
One very unforgettable incident that Dorje Shugden had come in to help me involves my dear mother, my late mother. She died at the ripe old age of 84. She would have died a very bitter, angersome, and Alzheimer inflicted victim if my Guru and Dorje Shugden had not intervened to help her. Why was my mother, by nature a kind, loving woman, turned to be so angersome, especially in her old age? This is what really happened. My father died at the age of 34. She was a widow at the tender age of 26. To her, my father was a great man. He was not only a loving husband, but a loving son and father. He was actually a brave, responsible, loving and caring man. For instance, during World War II, he had helped to rescue quite a few number of people from death. In Singapore, in a village called Yio Chu Kang. My mother will never forget what my father had done. He was like a rock for him to put his shoulder on whenever she needed help. Imagine how heartbroken she was when she died. Okay? shortly and again, shortly after my father's death, one of my uncles decided to take control of my father's business. That business rightfully belonged to my mother. And to make matters worse, this same uncle incited my father's family against my mother. And in the end, almost my 2 siblings and I were taken away from her. Can you imagine how traumatic the experience was for her? And imagine, her fear was so great in losing us that for years, until we left secondary school, she would wait for us to return home from school every day. Can you imagine? The trauma, the suffering was so great in her. Of course, my siblings and I loved her very greatly.
Which means, in light of all this that happened to your mother, I would imagine that at that point of her illness, Alzheimer, you said, she would have been grasping and holding on to quite a bit of bitterness.
Yes.
And anger, maybe.
Yes.
So is this at the point where you relied on Dorje Shugden to come to ease her mind? Or
yes.
What happened?
Oh, you see, as my mother grew older, her Alzheimer developed and her angersome behavior became worse. Imagine, in 6 months, I had to change 6 helpers in my home because she couldn't get along with any one of them. And surprisingly, really amazing, actually it was a miracle, when about a year before her death, she calmed down. She learned to accept things and to let go.
What was different? What happened? What made her change this way?
Actually, we appealed to my guru for help. Guru had Dorje Shugden's pujas also done for her. That's why when she finally died, she died a very peaceful death. She died as though she was sleeping very soundly.
I guess when you are a good daughter and you know your mother has suffered very much, you would like as little suffering as possible at the point in which she's leaving us. And in that you found that peace with the help of Dorje Shugden.
Yes.
Okay. Mrs. Chuah, you know that the practice of Dorje Shugden has a controversy. What are your views on this controversy, and would it deter you or stop you from practicing and affecting your faith in Dorje Shugden?
I'm very sad about this controversy. I definitely will not stop practicing Dorje Shugden, and I indeed would like more and more people to know about this great, powerful protector, because he is actually a great protector for anybody in times of need. Through my experience, how can anyone abandon somebody who has helped you so much in your life? In many ways, impossible, isn't it? I sincerely pray and hope that this misunderstanding surrounding Dorje Shugden's practice, which is causing so much harm, so much pain, so much suffering to the millions of Dorje Shugden's practitioners all over the world, especially the Tibetan monks and lay people, can be resolved. I sincerely hope and pray that quickly representatives of both Dorje Shugden's practitioners as well as the Tibetan leaders will come quickly and harmoniously together to solve this very important issue. To me, Dorje Shugden has helped my family so much, and also thousands of other people worldwide, as can be seen in the many testimonies given. I would actually like more people to know about this powerful protector, so that they can seek His help whenever they are in need.
I could not agree more, and inspired by Mrs. Chuah and what she has shared, I too pray that the sufferings of Shugden practitioners will also come to an end very soon.